Hello, Divas. If you've been keeping up, I need to scoot back. Ooh. Are we good? Okay. If you've been keeping up with my short form content, you know that I have been working on what was supposed to be my next long form video, which was me watching American Horror Story for the first time ever and then giving my thoughts to you on that. However, you will also know that it's a lot. Like, American Horror Story is just a lot of dark topics at once, and honestly I needed a nice little break, so I'm just gonna form a cutesy little vlog. Yeah, okay. And if you've read the title, then you will also know that I am letting a color wheel pick the books that I'm going to read this weekend. It's Saturday, like it's almost 6 p.m. on Saturday. And so you would be like, but it's the weekend, why are you starting now? Well, because I had to go to State Literary Rally this morning, and I wasn't feeling it today. So let us pick the first thing, I guess. Let's let the wheel do its job. Okay. We got green, which is good because even though it's not in this room, which fun fact, I found out like through my TikTok page, which if you didn't know, I have a TikTok. Anyway, through my TikTok, that I read this book exactly 1 year ago today. And it's green, but it looks blue on camera. That's really weird. Anyway, so I am if you've been watching my short form content, then you will also know that I have been reading Emma for my English teacher because her name is Emma. Shocking. So we are going to just finish reading Emma, I suppose. Okay, so I'm on chapter 20, page 170. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I think it's really funny. Like, I just think the whole book is really funny. It's absolutely a comedy, and you don't really have to take it too seriously. But even at this point, we're seeing Emma's character growth. Like, at the beginning of the book, she's really used to getting everything she wants, and now, like, she's finally starting to realize that some battles are just not worth fighting because she's not always gonna get what she wants, and I just think that that's fantastic, and it's very interesting. So, yeah, let's keep reading. I'm so tired. I'm level with you real quick.
Child. Anyway, so
I listened to an audiobook, I did my nails, and I think I'm just gonna we're just gonna talk tomorrow because I need to go to bed. I am not finished with Emma. Okay, so it's nighttime again and I'm tired again, but that just means that we're gonna have to continue this tomorrow. Who's sad? Not me. Okay, I did finish Emma. I think I'm gonna rate it a solid 4 stars and then give it to my teacher on graduation because that was the whole point of me reading it. Because I'm not like the biggest fan of Jane Austen or anything, but this was definitely better than Pride and Prejudice. For sure. Anyway, let us go to past Tessa. so that she can tell you what book we're reading now. Cool. Okay, and time for our second color pick of the day, or of the weekend, but pretty much of the day. Pink. Do I have a pink? Oh, there's one. I haven't gone book shopping in a really long time, so we might be doing some rereads here, but I'm not necessarily mad about it because I like rereading books. I'm a freak. Okay, so we have actually quite a few options. I didn't think I was gonna have many, but we have Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, which is, I would say, pretty darn pink. A Taste for Love, which is also pretty darn pink, and Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood, which, as you can see, this bad boy is tabbed. Not really sure. I think we're gonna knock her off the table. I don't really want to read her again. Is this one pink? Ooh, it's pretty pink, but like I'd also say that like maybe the majority color is blue on that one. And Butcher and Blackbird is purple. Yeah, that's pretty purple, I'd say. Why is the freaking focus and lighting so bad? I don't know. Okay, anyway. Is that a... Oh! If that's pink, I actually want to read that. Of course, it's on the bottom... Oh, Lord. It's on the freaking bottom of a bunch of books. But, wait, which one's that one? Oh, yeah, no, I don't want to read that one. Hold on. Oof. I have so many books. Oh, wait, this is... Wait, this is the first book. Why is that down at the... I don't know. Well, they're out of order. Oh, but this is gonna be freaking purple. I can just tell. How? It's freaking... Okay, if it's gonna be freaking purple, then why am I freaking going through all this trouble? It's because... Yeah, I actually was literally thinking about this book because I read it last year. No, I read it 2 years ago. Around this time of year. And I was, oh my gosh, it's highlighted too. What the heck? Why do I not remember doing that? Okay. But no, I'd say this is pretty... Honestly, like, it's probably like black. There is purple on it. And that's like the accent color, like, because that's the one it draws your eyes to. But I think honestly we have to pick between these two. And after reading Emma, I think it would actually be pretty fun to read A Taste for Love again, because if you didn't know, this book is based off of Pride and Prejudice, and if you didn't know, again, times two. I didn't like Pride and Prejudice, but I did actually quite enjoy this book. And this one also deals with like heavier subject matter, and maybe I don't want to be doing that right now. So we're gonna go with A Taste for Love. Hi guys, so long story short, I'm about halfway through with A Taste for Love, and as I said at the beginning, this is a reread. This book and another book, the next book that I'm doing, are both rereads because I haven't had time to go out and buy new books. So I kind of pigeonholed myself here, but I still wanted to read and I still wanted to make a video. I will say, like, for me not being like a big fan of Jane Austen, like Pride and Prejudice, this is a very palatable adaptation. It's really cute. It kind of is giving like if Jenny Han wrote a Jane Austen, modernized Jane Austen story, you know? So yeah, love it a lot. And I'm just gonna continue this. So I'll see you in a little bit. And with that, we are finished. It really didn't take long. This book is super light. It's a really light, easy, fun read. I'm giving it, keeping it the same with my 3-star rating that I've had. It's not like super, super, super good, but it's not like bad in any way. It's a completely average, cute little YA rom-com book. So, next up, we gotta go to Past Me to tell you what's next on our agenda, and I'll see you after her. You know, guys, when I originally picked for yellow, I didn't have this book, but now I have this book. It's Caliban's War by James A. Corey. It is the second book in the Expanse series, and as you can see, it's got some yellow. So I think that this is actually what we're going to read today, and I'm really excited to read it. I loved the first book, so I think I'll really like the second book. And on a little bit of an unrelated note, I've been seeing The Kissing Booth all over my For You page, so I think I'm going to pop that sucker on in the background and just have it as kind of like a white noise, if you will. Or maybe... First of all, you have no idea what today was like, guys. It was my last day of high school, like my last full official day of high school. I have to go to school one more time tomorrow. I have to go on Tuesday. I mean, not tomorrow. Next week I have to go to school on Tuesday because I have 2 finals that I have to take, and I have NHS tutoring that I need to do during our lunch hours. But that was it. That was pretty much it. That was my high school experience coming to an end. We had academic signing day today. So I signed on to my college. I'm going to the University of Louisiana. And I don't know, it's all just really crazy. So let's break down a couple of things too. My computer is absolutely broken. She's busted. She has something corrupted in her SSD card and is unable to boot up. So we have to say goodbye to her, but luckily I'm getting a new computer. When am I getting a new computer? I'm getting a new computer on graduation day, I think. So goodbye. I'll have to write the rest of my papers for my finals on my iPad. Sucks, but you hear her? Do you hear her how hard she's running? She won't be like that much longer. I just took her off the charger because there's no point in her taking up any more power. She's just, well, we'll just power her off, and there you go. That's it. It's been a while. I've had her since 2021, so I've had her for a good 5 years. She was good to me. All right. Now, on to our book. This is Caliban's War. I introduced it, I'm sure, in the last clip. Whatever. I am close to about halfway through. I know that this looks like it's halfway through, but I assure you that it's not. I think if I read this next chapter, then I'll be halfway through. So that is exciting. I think I'm going to, I don't really, like, I used to have the Goodreads app downloaded, and I used to track all the books I read. I don't do that as much anymore. I did it for a solid year, and then just decided that I didn't really want to do that anymore. So, I have not looked to see anything about, like, the series as a whole, and, like, see what the rating looks like. Okay, 4.39. So she's pretty popular with the Goodreads people who read. Let's see. Whew. Well, some good stuff. Anyway, so yeah, she seems decently popular. Okay. On a side note, we'll get to her. We will get to her. I promise I will talk about her. I've got some thoughts, everything. We got to unpack. Anyway, let's get into Caliban's War. So Caliban's War, I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm just going to give like a basic where we are so far, like plot up till now, but like not really spoiling anything because if I'm going to be completely honest, not much has been revealed. This is the second book in the Expanse series, and it kind of picks up right where we leave off, essentially. We go back into Jim Holden. There are 4 POVs this time, which is interesting because it's written in third person point of view, and 2 of the there are 4 POVs. These 2 are doing kind of the same thing over here, and these 2 are kind of doing the same thing over here, and I'm assuming that they're gonna come together, have a little rendezvous. But it's interesting to me that they decided to do that because, like, with the book before, like, Holden and Miller, they met eventually, but they were their own separate entities, and they kind of had really their own separate plots that were kind of woven together. But with this, we have these characters. We have Bobby and Avasarala, and Avasarala is a character that we had seen before in the first book. We have them. They're both on Earth, working for the UN, trying to figure out this whole, well, like, are we going to war, are we not going to war thing. That's where they're at. But they're together. Like, Bobby works for Avasarala. Okay? Yeah. So that happens. And again, they're together. They are working together on Earth. And then we have Holden again. And we have this guy named Prax. Now, at the beginning, Prax was on a different planet. He was on Ganymede. And Holden was in his ship. Well, not the reconnaissance, in this Somnambulist, I think is the name of the ship. But eventually they make it to Ganymede, and Prax and Holden meet up, and now they're doing their own thing. They're doing their own thing together. So if it's in third person, why do I need both of the POV? Like, why do I need them? Why do I need them if it's in the, we're doing the same thing. Like, these 2 are doing the same thing, and these 2 are doing pretty much the same thing. Why do I need 2? Why can't I just have, okay, 1. Honestly, I'd prefer Bobby, and then Holden. Bobby, Holden, Bobby, Holden. Avasarala is interesting. I do like her, or I guess Christian. I like her point of view as well. Prax seems relatively pointless to me. Sweet guy, but relatively pointless to me in terms of using his POV. Because he doesn't know what's going on. Holden knows more than him in general. So whatever. Meanwhile, over here, like, we have Christian and we have Bobby. And they know different things. One of them's from Earth and one of them's from Mars. And they're on different sides, but the same side at the same time. And so they have different views of the world. And Jim and Prax, they just kind of, they're just kind of, Prax is, like, there's obviously one that has less knowledge base, and that's Prax. I would have been fine with the 3 POV. It would have seemed maybe even a little redundant there, but anyway, yeah, that's it. I am enjoying it so far. I can really, like, just sit down and get a good chunk of reading done without getting bored. These are if you can't tell, these are kind of slow burns. Like, there's not a whole bunch is going to be happening all at one time. It's a slow build-up, and the reveals and how everything weaves together, I think once Christian, Bobby, Jim, and Prax, once they all meet up, which I'm assuming they're going to, once they all meet up and they start working together, I think things will get really interesting because I want to see their dynamic. Christian, Avasarala, I'm trying not to say Christian, because there's no T, it's just Christian. Christian Avasarala is very bossy. She's very, very bossy. She's kind of, like, so bossy that she comes off a little rude. No, she comes off really rude. But she has power and she knows it. She's not afraid to use it. What more can we say about her? Bobby is kind of dealing with a little bit of PTSD, and I say a little bit, she is dealing with PTSD, and is more prone to violence. So we kind of get back to like Miller's kind of character, but in a woman, and who's like really just a badass. And then we have Jim, who is kind of experiencing an identity crisis right now. He usually is the let's talk, shoot later, talk first, shoot later. But now he's kind of acting more like Miller was, where it was shoot first, talk later. Anyway, so I really want to see, because I think Holden and Avasarala will kind of like rub up against each other if they do in fact meet. And then you have Prax, who's just kind of there. He's just kind of there. Yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm just gonna continue reading, I guess. It's raining outside, so you know that's perfect reading weather. You sit by a window or whatever, and you just kind of get to chill out and read, and that's what I get to do today. So, well, for the rest of the today. It's almost 1:30, which means we've got a lot of the day left, honestly. So let's go do that. I finished Caliban 4. I'm gonna give it like a 3-star. The first 400 pages were great. The last 200 were pretty meh. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but that was today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed, and I'll see you whenever I see you. Bye.